information recording has started. Now today, as Arnab says, we will discuss chapter number 4, right? And in chapter number 4, I think that is operator. What is the name of that chapter? Can somebody please read out?
So operators in Java.
Only operators in Java, right? Okay. No problem. Let us start with operators in Java. I think we have started this one in some classes, but now we will discuss the entire one quite thoroughly. Operators in Java. If I'll ask you what is the definition of operator, why exactly operators are used in Java, what you will answer? Why we are using operators? I'm not asking what are the different types of operator. I'm asking why we are using operators. The
To
answer,
perform
yes,
arithmetical operations.
not only arithmetical, operator always there to manipulate or to calculate arithmetic as well as logical calculation. Operators doesn't only limited to arithmetic. There might be time when I require to compare two number, when I require to add two number, right? So not only arithmetic but also logical comparison, right? Both these are into operator. Understood? So the first point, if you want to write, the first point we can write, these are some special symbols or you can say tokens which can perform arithmetic as well as logical calculation, right? This is point number 1, what exactly operator is. Now, second one, where operator basically operated to for any operator to be perform its operation, what it requires? Every operator requires what for its operation? Or I can say where there is operator, there are operands, right? Without operand, can we think for operators?
No, sir.
So operators always operated on operands. You can write that point. Operators always operates on operand. You can say either operand or operands. You can put a S here because there are few operators which are operating only on one operand. There are few operators which are operated in two operands. There are also few operators who are operated in more than two. So it's a safe side. We always says operators always operates on operand within bracket S. I think you understood these 2 points, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, see, first of all, let me go through your book. Then after, we'll add some extra masala into that, right? So let us complete everything there in the book, chapter number 4. Then I'll go on adding. Every section will go on some new things so that we can write it on exam and we can understand the entire concept. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, two things we have discussed here. One thing what we have discussed, arithmetic operator followed by logical calculations. So how many things we have discussed here? 2. Now, before going for arithmetic operation, we should understand what exactly an arithmetic expression is. Exactly, we need to understand this. We understand that. What are they? So, let's talk about arithmetic expression first. Let us understand what exactly arithmetic expressions are. See, arithmetic expression mean the first thing I can write inside an arithmetic expression, what will be the content, or what are the content of an arithmetic expression? Arithmetic sorry, arithmetic expression always, let me go for a simple example. Suppose I am writing x into y. This is one arithmetic expression, right or wrong? Or instead of x into y, I am writing 2 into 3. The same, this is also an arithmetic expression. What is there? If I look at the first example, these are variables or identifiers, isn't it? If I look at these two, these are literals. So what are there in arithmetic expression? Either variable or constants. So an arithmetic expression contains what? Can contain what? Can contain, I repeat, an arithmetic expression can contain, as we just seen here, whenever we are talking about an arithmetic expression, as I told you, suppose I am writing one arithmetic expression as a plus b. Remember, a plus b is an arithmetic expression. Similarly, without a plus b, what I can do? I can write 2 plus 3. Now both these two are arithmetic expressions. Now my question is, if these two are arithmetic expression, then if we generalize arithmetic expression into some statement, what we say? An arithmetic expression can contain what? It can contain
Operators and operands.
Obviously, operands are there. I'm talking about what kind of operand. Whether it is okay with only constant, it is okay with only variable, or both of them.
Both of them.
Right. So what we can write, an arithmetic expression can contain, we can go to the point. Like we can write an arithmetic expression. An arithmetic expression can contain definitely arithmetic operator, right or wrong? Number 2, an identifier or a literal. I think you got this point. What an arithmetic operation can contain? It can contain not only arithmetic operators but also identifiers or variables or constants, right?
Yes, sir.
The next point, and this is a vital point, every arithmetic expression should have a data type. True or false? True or false?
True.
Right, you should add this point. Every arithmetic expression has some type. Some type means what exactly I'm talking about? You can write this. This is the complete one. This is the complete. Every arithmetic expression has some data type, right? So this is all about an arithmetic expression. The second thing that is there in your book is called as arithmetic expression. Arithmetic expression. What that one is? This is simple. If you understand this arithmetic expression, you can easily understood this arithmetic statement. What that is? Suppose I am writing x equal to 5. And at the same time I am writing y equal to 5. Now what I want to do, I want to calculate x plus y. Now as per the definition, x plus y is arithmetic expression or not? As per the definition,
Yes.
we have just. So this is arithmetic expression. Remember, if I have to store the value of arithmetic expression in a variable, now this is called as arithmetic statement. Got my point? Got the difference between arithmetic expression and arithmetic statement? If the output of arithmetic expression is stored in a variable. Now, at that point of time, the entire statement is called as arithmetic statement. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here also, this Z has some type or not? This Z has some type or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. Otherwise, there will be a data type mismatch. Can I store the calculation of two integer variables in a character variable? No. Type error will be there, isn't it? So, the data type of the right side, sorry, the left side of the statement and the data type of the expression should be either same, either equal, or which one should be higher and which one should be lower if I am not going for explicit typecasting. Listen very carefully what I am saying. Suppose I have to write Z equals to X plus Y. Now you will definitely agree with me, X plus Y definitely has some type. I don't know what the type is. I don't know. Now if I want to store that value into Z, now the data type of Z should be equal or higher than the data type of the expression, right or wrong?
So right. Yes, sir.
If it will be a lower one, if it is not equal, not higher, rather lower, then what will going to happen? 100% pakka we are going to get a compilation error, not runtime error. This is what kind of error? Compilation.
Compiler.
So that's what we are trying to write here. The first statement, I think you can write it by yourself. The first statement is, if arithmetic expression is stored in some variable, then it is called as simple, right? It is called as arithmetic statement. Done?
So this X is equal to Y a arithmetic statement.
X equal to?
X is equal to 5.
Okay, excellent question. Now, if I am writing only 5, is it an arithmetic expression? If I am writing only 5, is it an arithmetic expression? She clearly said what an arithmetic operation can contain. Not only operator but also an identifier or literal. Now the question is, 5 itself. Somebody joined. Sorry. Now the question is, X equal to 5, only 5. 5 is a literal or an identifier?
So an identifier.
Sorry, this 5 is a literal or identifier?
It's a literal.
Literal. Now this literal, does this literal preceded or suffixed with any operator?
No, sir.
If there will be no arithmetic operator, can I call that one as arithmetic expression?
No, sir.
No. If this is not an arithmetic expression, whenever I am going to store this value, can I call this one as arithmetic statement?
No, sir.
Understood?
Yes.
So before validating anything for arithmetic statement, the first thing we should validate whether the content present at the right side is a valid arithmetic expression or not. How to do that? Simple. We need to check two things. There should be an arithmetic operator, then there should be either an identifier or a literal. But it should be there. Without any arithmetic operator, remember this one equals to sign is not an arithmetic operator. Equals to sign is assignment operator. That is not arithmetic operator. Got it? So can you think of an arithmetic expression without an arithmetic operator? Can you? Can you think like that?
No, sir.
Now you can easily say this one is a valid arithmetic statement or not, right?
So invalid.
Correct. Now, so these are two things that is there in your textbooks. That's why I have discussed. So the kind of question you might get for this, like true or false. There will be a statement and it says check whether the statement mentioned here is a valid arithmetic statement or not. You need to check whether that expression is a valid arithmetic expression or not. If it is valid, then that's fine. If it is invalid, it can't be a statement. Clear? Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let us move to your operators. In the category of operators, we have arithmetic operator, next we have relational operator, we have logical operator. I think only these three operators are there in your syllabus, right? Let's see, let us complete these three first, then if more will be there, we'll cover, right? Again, arithmetic operator, we can divide this arithmetic operator into three groups. First, actually arithmetic operators are divided into two groups, but as per your book, we have to go for three. The first one is unary operators. Second one are binary operators. And the third one is definitely what? If one is unary, second one is binary, third one, it has to be what? Ternary, right? And from the definition, I think you got the clarity. What exactly unary operator is? The first point you can blindly write any arithmetic operator. If that operator requires one operand for its execution, we can call that operator as unary operator. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can write here arithmetic operator which requires one operand for its execution is called as unary operator. Now in this context, we have few operators. Unary arithmetic operators. In this context, we have operators like unary plus and unary minus. We have operators like increment operators or decrement operators. So we will learn about these four operators. See, whenever I'm writing this plus and minus, remember you have to pronounce this one as unary plus or minus. This is not only plus and minus. Understood? If I only pronounce add and subtract are not unary operators. Those are binary operators. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I talk about unary plus, that means it will take one operand. We'll go through how it behaves and how we can calculate using this operator. Things are very simple, right? We'll talk about this plus and minus. Unary plus or unary minus. See, let's start with an example. What exactly these two are? Suppose, see, unary plus or unary minus. These are basically these two are used as prefix to the identifier. These are used as prefix. What it will do? It will change the sign of the operand accordingly. What that does mean? Suppose I'm I'm writing here a is equal to 8. I have a variable whose value is 8. Then if I'll ask you, what will be the value of plus a? You will say, sir, value of plus a will be plus within bracket a. So it will be same. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right. If the value of the variable is minus 8. Suppose the value of the variable is minus 8. Then if I'll ask you, what will be the value of a? How you can evaluate? You can evaluate like plus within bracket minus 8. So the answer will be how much? The answer will be
minus 8.
Minus. Right. So unary plus operator is basically, unary plus operator does not change the sign, because if the sign was negative, it will be remain as negative. If the sign was positive, it will be remain as positive. So no changes will be there if you are using a unary plus operator. But in case of unary minus operator, suppose a is equal to 8. Now I'm asking you, can you tell me what is the value of minus a? Now how do you evaluate? We have to write like minus within bracket the value of a. Now the answer is how much? Now the answer is
minus 8.
Minus 8. Similarly, if value of a is minus 8 initially, and I'll ask you what is the value of minus a. Now the answer will be minus of again minus 8. So it will be plus
8.
Understood? Understood the uses of unary plus and unary minus?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we can do, we can add few points regarding that unary addition, unary plus and unary minus. The first point I want to add here, this operator, we can write these are used as prefix or these are used prefix or before the operand. First point. Second point, what is the value of this one? We have two answers. If we are using a unary plus, no changes in sign will be there. But if we are using a minus operator, obviously the sign will be definitely changed. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So plus or minus, what they will do, these two operator, what they will do, they will, you cannot write both simultaneously. You have to write one by one. This operator will not change any sign. But if we write about a minus one, what it will do? We'll change the sign of the operand. Got it? Understood?
Yes, sir.
At no point of time, suppose a is equal to 8, you will say, sir, what is the value of a minus? Immediately your compiler will say, you have made a mistake, because unary minus operator cannot be used after operand. It should be used. This one should be used before the operand, right? Minus a is valid, a minus is invalid. Clear? And why it is called unary? Because it requires how many operand? How many operand? One operand.
One.
Okay. Now, the next thing is unary increment or unary decrement operator. Now, when we talk about unary increment or unary decrement operator, first of all, we need to understand how we want to use them. We can use them as prefix, we can use them as postfix. We'll see in detail. We'll use them as prefix, we'll use them as postfix. Means, if I am writing, suppose the value of a is, suppose the value of a is 5. Listen very carefully. I want to add plus plus operator as, let's say, prefix. And also I can use the same operator as postfix. Let us understand the difference between these two. I think you know the difference, right? Because this has already been taught in your class. If you know, please go ahead. If you know, please go ahead. Can somebody tell me, suppose I am writing here, B is equal to plus A. Now my question is, what will be the value of B and what will be the value of A? And in the same case, if it is 5, then if I am writing B is equal to A plus plus, what will be the value of B and what will be the value of A? Right? Can somebody tell me? Arnab?
So in the first question, so the value of B will be 6 and value of A will also be 6.
Okay, Satyam in the second case? In the second case, Satyam?
So the value of B will be 5 and A will be also 5.
A will be also 5. Umang, whether both are correct or you want some changes in some answer?
No, sir, correct.
Both are correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Both are correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Make sure the first one is absolutely fine, no problem at all. Arnab, you want to make any changes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
So the value of B will be 5 and A will be 6.
Yes, Arnab is right. Arnab is right. We can see it. We can confirm about that one. No problem. See, let us understand this one so that will give us clear-cut clarity. Whenever I am using unary increment operator as prefix, remember this particular word. If you find this, what exactly the role is? The role is, what it will do? It will increment the value first, then it will be used. Remember this term. It will be incremented first, then it will be used. If I am using as postfix, it will be used first. After uses, the value will be get incremented. Could you able to understand these 2 points? This one and this one?
Yes.
In prefix, see, since the operators are there before the operand, so this particular operation will be performed first. What is the operation? Increment. So increment will be done first. Then the value will be used. Here, since the operator are present at the right side of the operand, here the value of the operand will be used first, then it will be incremented. What that does mean, let's understand. We'll go to same example. A is equal to 5. I am writing here B is equal to plus A, right? Now, as per the definition, what I said, if I encountered this kind of variable, this kind of expression, what will happen? It will increment the value first, then it will be used. Before going into the expression, what was the value of A?
5.
Before coming to this expression, the value of A was 5, right?
Yes, sir.
When this particular statement, this particular arithmetic expression will be executed, immediately the value of A will be incremented by 1. So now value of A will be how much? 6. So increment first, make it 6, then 6 will be used as the value of B. So it will be incremented first, then it will be used. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the same context, suppose I am using B is equal to A plus plus. Now tell me, what is the value of A before coming into the expression?
5.
5. Now what we say, it will be used first or incremented first?
So used first.
Now value of A will be used first, right? So now what will be the value of B now?
The 5.
Once it will be used, the value will be incremented, and the value will be incremented to
The 6.
So what will be the value of A?
So 6.
Understood? Understood the difference or not?
Yes, sir.
If you understood, then we'll go for some more example. Suppose here I am writing a equals to 5. Got it? Now I am writing b equals to, listen, give some attention to this. I am writing like a plus 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 a. Now first question, whether this arithmetic statement is a valid statement or invalid statement. This arithmetic statement is a valid or invalid statement?
Valid.
Perfectly valid statement, right? We have used unary operator here. We have also used unary, and in between binary is there. No problem at all. Now the question is, what will be the value of b and what will be the value of a? We have to calculate, right? Isn't it? So how can we calculate? Anybody has any idea? If you know, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll explain. Don't worry. If you know, please go ahead. Let us understand what exactly you know about this.
First, we will solve the arithmetical expression. Then the value of b will be printed.
Now tell me, what should I write in the next step? What should I write in the next step? In place of a plus plus, what should I write?
So 5.
5. Okay. In place of plus plus a, what should I write?
6.
6, right? And the answer should be 11, right?
Yes.
Anybody has to say anything else? Anybody has to say anything else? Satya, Mumam?
No.
Same.
No, sir.
Any changes you want to make?
No, sir.
Okay. Listen. See that, in fact, Arnab is right, but up to some extent. Let us understand how this one is evaluated. First thing is, definitely, he said, okay, we have to evaluate the arithmetic expression first. Remember, if there will be a plus plus and a prefix and postfix in unary increment or decrement operator, the expression is evaluated from left to right, not right to left. In Java, these are operated from what? Left to right. Man, this one first, then this one second, then if there will be other one, it will be third, fourth, like that. Clear about this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. In that context, whenever there is a prefix operator, as per our discussion, the value will be used first, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
That means, what is the value that is going to be used? Definitely 5. Right or wrong? Definitely
Yes.
5 will be used. Now, what is then what I have told you, after this is getting operated, this is getting used, what will be there? The value will be incremented or not?
Yes.
Now, once this particular expression is over, the value will be incremented to 6, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
When this particular expression is evaluated, the value of a will be 6 or 5?
6.
It will be 6. Then once one more increment operator is there. So what will be the value of a now?
7.
7. So value will be
12.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Let us cross check. Let us cross check in your Blue Java compiler. We'll do that. take now. I'll go B. Or we are use 5. No use 5. And B is equal to A plus A, right? System dot print within bracket. Let us do both A equals to plus A. B equals to plus B. Is right? Or any problem is there?
That's right.
Okay. Let us compile this. Code, there is no error. Now let us execute this program.
So 12.
And you got the point why it is 12, right? You understood the entire thing why it is 12, right?
Yes.
Now tell me, if at all I'm writing plus A, now what will be the answer? What will be the answer? What will be the value of B?
So 20.
Yes, it should be 20. Right, it should be 20. Let us cross check. Compile. Right. Now I think you understood how to calculate, right? Now you understood
Yes.
how to calculate. Now I can go for any kind of larger expression without any problem, right? And you can
Yes,
easily
sir.
calculate the entire thing without any confusion, right or wrong? So let us first write some
Yes.
notes regarding this unary and binary, then we'll solve some problem, right? We'll talk about prefix. So whenever we'll talk about prefix, it could be either plus plus or minus minus. The only difference with plus plus and minus minus is plus plus will increment the value by 1 and minus minus will decrement the value by 1, right? Now let us write. If I'll go through your book, in your book it says in prefix operator, the value is changed before action. The value of the operand will be changed before action. Or in other words, you can write, in other words, the value will be incremented first, incremented or decremented first, then will be used. Got the clarity, right? Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can we apply prefix unary or binary to any literal? Can I write like this? Or can I write like this? Because 3 is also an operand. You cannot say 3 cannot be an operand. 3 is an operand. But my question is whether this is valid. This is valid or not?
Valid.
Not valid. Arey, if I am writing plus plus 3, what this particular one means, 3 is equal to 3 plus 1. Is it true? Can you increase the value of a literal and store it in that literal? How can we?
No, sir.
So remember this point. This prefix or postfix unary operator, they are only operated in identifiers, right? You can write this will operate only on identifiers. Of which data type? Of which data type? Of byte, short, int, long, float, double, character also, but not in Boolean. Remember, in Boolean type we cannot use this prefix and postfix operator. Clear about this point, right? You clear about this point, right? Okay. Now tell me from your previous experience, at some point of time we have, now you will agree with me, if I am writing plus a, that means this particular statement is same as a is equal to a plus 1, right or wrong? Right or wrong?
Yes.
Now keep this in mind. Sorry, keep this in mind. Suppose I am writing byte a is equal to 10, right? What I am writing is byte a is equal to 10. Now I am writing a is equal to a plus 1. This is valid or invalid? This is valid or invalid? Array?
Invalid.
Invalid. Because if you add like this, what will happen? The data type of the expression is now converted into integer, because by default that is integer. And how can we store an integer constant into a byte variable? Not possible. Right or wrong? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
But don't you think whenever I am writing a plus plus or plus plus a, this will be happily executed? You want to check? Let's check. Let me write it as byte. No problem. Now, as per our discussion, this should produce an error, right or wrong? Because if there will be a plus, definitely I am this now. So as per the discussion, if I am writing b is equal to a plus 1, look at the difference. If I am writing like this is an error or not? The second line contains error or not?
Yes, sir.
Read out what the error is.
So possible lossy conversion from int to byte.
You understood why this error is there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, don't you think this a plus plus is same as this?
Yes, sir.
Then how come it is possible a plus doesn't give me an error? If I operate the same operation using plus, gives me an error. That means not only incrementation or decrementation is done, but also implicit typecasting is done. Got it? So increment operator not only incremented or decremented, but also what it does? Suppose here I am writing byte. I think my problem is over, isn't it? Sorry. Now my problem will be over. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Because I have calculated and converted this one into byte. That means writing a plus plus means it is converting, not only incrementing but also converting to the appropriate type. Got the clarity? That means happily we can add one more point here. We can add or not? So what point we can add? Along with the increment or decrement operation, it also converted the expression into appropriate type. So this is one extra point you can add. And for this point, you can have a very good example like this. You can add this example to understand this. If I am writing byte a equal to 10, and if I am writing a is equal to a plus 1, definitely this is an error because it is not converted. So in this case, if I am writing a plus plus, this will be exactly like this. Now this is the difference. I hope you got this example, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, same thing about postfix, only one point will change. That point is the value of the operand the action will be performed first, then it will be changed. Here what we are doing, the value of the operand will be changed then before action. What we'll say, the value of the operand will change after the action, right? You can copy this statement and we can paste it here. What we have to change is the value of the operand will be changed after the action. In other words, the value will be used first, then incremented or decremented, right? And remaining 2 points are same. No problem at all. No problem at all.
So why did plus plus a produce an error when you showed us the example?
Sorry. Why?
So just now when you showed us the example in the code, sir, you had written a plus 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 a. So then you erased it because it was producing an error.
Yes,
so why was
yes. Now you only tell me. You only tell me. Now this is the case, right? This is what you are asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Why it is shown an error? Now you can tell me. Now tell me, the entire one is an expression or not?
Yes, sir.
In this expression, how many operators are used? This is one operand, this is one operand, and which operator here used is plus operator, right? Whenever
Yes.
plus operator is operated on any integer constant, the result will be
Integer.
and what we are trying to do, we are trying to store the output of the expression integer constant into which variable?
Right.
Understood?
Yes.
The error is because of this unary plus operator, not because of this plus plus or this plus plus operator. Clear?
Yes.
You have noticed that, right? Very good. Thank you. And what is the error? What if I'll check the error? What exactly the error will be? Possibly lossy conversion from
Into byte.
into byte. Excellent. Excellent. Understood, right? About prefix, postfix, understood. We can go for any expression. We can go for any expression, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me. Tell me what will be the value of C and what will be the value of A and what will be the value of B. Please calculate and let me know what exactly the value will be.
Sir, 85.
Which one 85?
So C is equal to 85.
Okay, A.
So 13.
1 3. Okay, B.
So B is 20. So A is 11. Sorry, sir, not 13.
No problem, no problem. 11. B is
So 20.
20. Arnab said this answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Satyam? Don't worry, you please complete your calculation. No worries. Take your time. Umang? Umang, Satyam, you both are calculating, right?
So Umang got disconnected.
Arey? Umang is not there. Okay. Satyam, can you please calculate this one?
Yes, sir, calculate.
Okay, Satyam, can you help me in calculating this? The time will be saved. Satyam, I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me how to calculate. I want to calculate this. With starting A is equal to 10, B equals to 20. Now tell me what should I write as in equal. In place of this A plus plus, what should I write?
Sir, 10.
10. Okay, next. In place of A plus plus.
Sir, 11.
11. Great. Next, in place of plus plus A.
Sir, 13.
Excellent. In place of B plus plus.
Sir, 20.
20. In place of plus minus minus B.
Sir, 20.
20. In place of minus minus A.
Sir, 12.
12. Excellent. Can you add this or add all these numbers?
Yes, sir. So 106.
Arnab? Arnab, I think you have made some mistake somewhere. Arnab, I am audible, right?
Yes, sir. So check.
No issues. We'll check it. Check right away. Don't worry. Tell me here. This answer is perfect. If the calculation is 106, then it is perfect. Now tell me here when we are stick to the basics. A plus plus means what our definition says. Value will be used first, then it will be incremented, right?
Yes, sir.
10 will be used first. But once this expression is complete, A will be 11 or not?
Yes, sir.
So for the second one, A will be 11. Again, it will be used first. But once you leave from this place, A will be 12 or not?
Yes, sir.
Now for this one, 12 plus 1, this will be?
13.
Great. B is 20. It will be used first. But when you leave this place, B will be 21. Again, minus minus means again it will reach to 20. No problem. See, previously A was 13. Now I am decrementing A by 1. What will be the value here?
12.
Right. So at the end of this expression, what will be the value of A?
12.
And what will be the value of B?
20.
And what is the final result?
106.
Clear, or any difficulties are there? Please let me know. Because in the examination, definitely we are going to get this kind of question, 100% pakka, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And these are very easy to solve. Only thing is you have to keep your calm. Just calculate step by step, easily you can get the answer without any difficulties. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you need to do?
Sir, I think the addition is wrong.
Acha. The entire addition was, last addition was wrong.
10,
Let me
10, 11, 13, 12, I think.
So why don't you let us write that in a program? The entire problem will be solved. Let's do it. Like paste it here. We require to declare A, B, and C. Done. A is equal to this, B is equal to this, and C equals to plus C. Let's see, there is a problem. Semicolon is not there. Now, let us compile this one. The code compiles. No, int I. I think the code compiles fine. The code compiles fine. Next, just execute. C is 86. Satyam, you have calculated wrongly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But value of A and B are 10 and 20, 12 and 20, right?
Yes, sir.
You got the process, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now make sure you have calculated rightly. Otherwise, everything is fine and the total calculation will be wrong. Make sure you've done it properly, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you need to do, in your chapter number 4, at the end of the chapter, you have, even in the chapter itself, there are a lot of questions regarding A plus plus, A minus minus, plus plus A, and minus minus A. Without going for the solution in the book, please try to solve it by yourself. You have to solve it with a pen and paper. Only then you go for writing the same expression as in a program and execute it. Now check whether both the values are same or not. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next class I might be come up with few more questions, and I might ask you to share your screen and show me what exactly you are doing with this postfix and prefix operations, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think unary operator done. There should not be any doubt further. I think no explanation, no more explanation should be required to explain these two operators. Unary plus minus and unary increment. Yes, please.
So can you repeat what is the homework for the next class? I was disconnected.
Yeah, I understand. The homework is in your chapter 4 in your textbook, where there is written unary operator, unary increment and decrement operator. After those two operators, you will find lot of examples where increment and decrement operators are broadly explained. You need to answer all those expressions. You need to find out the answer for all the expressions without seeing the result there in the book. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And the same, you should try the same program, same expression in Blue Java. I might...
Sir, Umang was not there actually. Ask him to solve the question first.
That will be the great idea. So let us go for one more example. We'll complete a different set of example. then we'll go to the operator. Now this question specifically for Umang. Umang, try to solve this question.
Yes, sir.
I'll go with a minus here. Now, clear? I have to start with A is equal to 10, B equal to 20. Arnab and Satyam, you can also try, but I'll hear the answer from Umang first. Then both of you. You have maximum 2 minutes. Done, right? Umang, can you please guide me step by step? Umang, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, what should I write in place of the first expression? What should the value I should write? I have started with
So
10.
11.
11. Next one.
It's the same 11.
Great. Next one.
So 20.
Plus plus B.
So 21.
Yes. Next one.
So 20.
Great. This one. This one.
So 12.
Excellent. This one.
So minus 20.
Why it is minus 20? Don't think about this operator. I am just asking about this value. Let the minus to be there itself. There is
So
no minus.
20.
It's 20 only. Okay. Now, when this expression is over, what is the value of A? What is the value of A once the expression is completed?
So 13.
Excellent. Value of B?
So 21.
Excellent. Now you need to add all these numbers. Excellent. Now it can be done, right?
Yes, sir.
Satyam, Arnav, he's right or you want some changes in this?
He's right.
Okay.
So right.
Now I can expect all of you three can able to answer any sort of questions that is with the combination of plus plus minus minus in prefix or postfix, right? There should not be any
Yes.
confusion. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Next, we will come down to now we will complete one more operator here. That is, you can call that one as compound assignment operator. Compound assignment operator. Suppose I have to write A is equal to A plus 1. Instead of writing this, what I can do, I can write A plus equals to 1. Both are same. Both are same. Understood? So if at some point of time if I am writing A minus equal to 1, what this particular thing means? If I write an expression like this, what exactly the expansion will be of this one? A is equal to I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a compound assignment operator. Here, if I am writing A plus equal to 1, that means it is like A equals to A plus 1. If I am writing A plus equals to 40, it means A equals to A plus what?
40.
Similarly, the other compound assignment operators are minus equals to, multiplication equals to, division equals to, modulus equals to, right? You can call these operators are compound assignment operator. Also, you can call these operators as shorthand operators. Right? You can call these as shorthand operators also, right? Now, a special properties of this particular operator. Whenever there is any compound assignment operator in an expression, remember, compound assignment operator always operated from right to left. Remember this point. Like whenever we are operating this increment and decrement operator, we are operating from what? Left to right, isn't it? We are operating from
Left to right.
But if there will be a combined assignment operator, if you want to operate the compound assignment operator, it will be always from right to left. Clear? We'll see an example of that. No worries. Suppose I am writing some statement like this. Suppose I am writing A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 30. Right? See what I am writing. Now, the question is, what will be the answer? What will be the value of A? What will be the value of B? And what will be the value of C? This statement is perfectly valid. No problem at all. No problem at all. This is perfectly valid. So, as we discussed, we have to operate from what? Right to left. How do we operate? We should write like A plus equal to, let it be there, B plus equal to, let it be there. Now, C plus equal to 9 means C is equal to C plus 9. What is the value of C? What is the value of 30? Now C will be 39, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That means B plus equal to 39. Now, A plus equals to B is equal to B plus 39. What is the value of B? 20. 20 plus 39. It will be
59.
Now, what will be the value of A now? A will be 59 plus
10.
It will be
69.
Understood how these operators will operate?
Yes, sir.
Remember, the most dangerous concept is this one will operate from right to left, not left to right. Clear? And one thing you cannot write the operators like minus equals to. This is invalid. This is completely invalid. The operators are only plus equals to. Either plus equals to, minus equals to, multiplication equals to, division equals to, or modulus equals to. Right? Now, we have covered some operators like prefix, postfix, and one compound assignment operator. Now, let's get back to binary operator. With this, we'll conclude the session. Binary operators, I think we had already discussed about plus, minus, multiplication, division, and modulus. I think we have discussed about all these operators, right?
Yes.
Do you have any doubts on this? I don't think.
No, sir.
So now what you need to do, among all these operators, whose precedence is higher? If we'll talk about the precedence, whose precedence is higher?
Sir, division.
Let me tell you. See, in an expression, the highest priority in an expression always goes to unary operator. Always goes to unary operator, right? After unary, the next second highest are binary operators. I'm coming down. Last, it will coming to ternary. And at the end, the least precedence always goes to assignment operator. This is the normal scenario in any programming language. In any programming language, right? Unary first, binary second, ternary third, and at the last, the least precedence operator is assignment operator, right? Then we are going through. Unary operator, you can understand. In binary, we have operators like multiplication, division, modulus. They have same priority. Plus and minus, they have same priority. But priority of multiplication, division and modulus is higher than this plus and minus. You know that rule, right? Bodmas rule, right?
Yes, sir.
It's same. It's same. But here in computer world, there is no Badmas, there is like Bedmas, B-E-D. Then E for exponent. So since we don't have an operator for exponent, in Java, we are not considering this one. But in computer language, in any computer language, the rule is not Bodmas, the rule is always Bedmas. B, instead of O, there is E. And E starts for what? Exponent, means to the power. Got it?
Yes.
Now, you have a homework for all this. What you need to do, you have to solve all the problems up to binary operator in your book. Next class, we will solve a lot of questions, and I might ask you, I might assign you, assign three of you 3 different questions, and will ask you to share your screen and will show me how you are operating that one with BlueJava. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's wind up today. Today we have only covered arithmetic expressions and operators, unary operator, binary operator, and compound assignment operator. Now, after today's session, there should not be any confusion between post increment and pre increment operator. You should able to calculate all the expressions without any problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then please do all the homework and come back on Monday. We'll discuss from this point onwards, right?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me?
So I had a problem while writing